pretty. What a positive way to start a video. Oh, free falling. Please don't take down my video. What's going on, guys? Stay. Muddy88 here, aka AJ from Queens. How you doing over there? Got a new topic for today's video. We are going to be discussing, okay, a really cool topic. Driving on my way home from work, as I always do, because all I do is drive. Mom's house, in-laws house, work, I was thinking, I haven't played a survival horror game in fucking forever, okay? I didn't know which one to get into. So I was going, you know what? What would be a good game, okay, to introduce you into a genre that you've never played before? We're going to be discussing, okay, the top games that will introduce you into a new genre. Ta-da! Okay, and I broke it down thusly. Proper English. I did FPS, first-person shooter, third-person shooter, which I'm not sure if it's called TPS, or is that the report from Office Space? Yeah, let's not call them TPSs. Then RPGs, I know that's a thing, role-playing games. Stealth, survival/survival horror, okay? And then maybe I'll throw in like a linear-based story game, okay? So, again, FPS, TPS reports, RPG, stealth, survivor/survival horror, and linear story-based games. So getting started on number one, FPS games. There's a plethora, okay? That genre blew up. I could go with Doom, any of the Dooms, okay? They're all classics, but Doom Eternal would be a good one. Half-Life, preferably Half-Life 2. Halo Infinite, Call of Duty, PUBG, you know all the names. But what I'm going to be going with is a game I didn't get into, okay, until I bought the Nintendo Switch, and I was like, okay, I'm done with The Legend of Zelda. What the hell can I play on this thing? Because I'm not playing Mario. I played every freaking Mario game there is to be. I'm basically a freaking little Italian man with a mustache. But I saw Bioshock in the Nintendo shop. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And yeah, what do you know? Bioshock is our winner here. Really cool game, man. Really freaking cool game. Premise of the game, your plane crashes, you're in the middle of the water, you make your way to some kind of strange underground city, okay? And some dude there named Atlas, okay, tells you that this place is called Rapture. It was supposed to be some kind of hidden underground city. The cool part about it, as far as why it makes a good FPS game, okay, is one, it mixes like elemental/magical gameplay with shooting, okay, which is pretty neat. The enemies in it are really cool. They're like these crazed crackheads that run around. It's not too janky, okay, with the aiming. Aiming in FPS games are, I mean, we've come a long way since GoldenEye's little circular thingy, but we've gotten so complex in like games like Call of Duty, PUBG, and shit like that, where it's like, dude, there's some of these kids, bro. Like, it's either you're on aimbot or you have no life to be that fucking good. That's a joke. I mean, these kids are amazing at what they do, but my God, it could be so. It gets so technical. This is a game that brings all that back. Okay, and it draws everything back into just a simplistic first-person shooting game, cool enemies, cool plot. I can't say enough about this game. The ending is fantastic. There's a cool twist in it, and we're going to go with that with number one. Okay, number two, third-person shooter games. Again, so freaking many of these. I could have went with one of my favorite games, like we talked about in the last video, Days Gone. Okay, but I don't think Days Gone would be a good idea for a new game because of the hordes would probably overwhelm you. I mean, the hordes in that game get freaking ridiculous, right? I could have went with one of my favorite games of all time, Max Payne. Dude, Max Payne is like if a comic book met a dirty, crooked cop in New York City, and you got to control the both of them all at once. Oh, and it's bullet time, so it was like, it's around the same time as The Matrix, so it's relatable to our audience. I could have went with Remnant 2. I could have went with Mafia, okay? But as an Italian-American, I find that offensive. Not really. It's a really cool game. But I went with Uncharted 2, Amongst Thieves. Obviously, Uncharted 4 is the best, but there's something about Uncharted 2 that's just special to me. All of them have an Indiana Jones vibe to it, but this one in particular. right? Like you're sent off on a mission to find Marco Polo's Mongolian oil lamp. You have to go to Shangri-La in the Shangri-La temple. One of the freaking villains, well, you don't know he's a villain, but when he turns out to be a villain, of course he's an ex-Nazi. I mean, they're always ex-Nazis. Again, anti-Nazi. Just want to put that out there. When you make it to the area, you get double-crossed. There are ice caves filled with like these horned monsters and shit like that. But again, why I picked this is because, again, when you're getting into the genre, you don't want anything too complicated. Like I said with Days Gone, the hordes could be overwhelming. There's bullet time in Days Gone, just like in Max Payne, so to slow down this shit could be jarring. You know what I mean? In like a Mafia game, which almost made the call here, but with Mafia, I like that more as a linear story-based game. With Uncharted 2, it's like, you get what you get. There's cool stealthy type of mechanics to it. You could like take cover underneath a crate or a wall. It's just, it feels like a good guy, bad guy type of shooter. You know what I mean? So I really, really love that. And that's why Uncharted 2 is the best. And plus the characters, both Chloe, Jeff, Elena, Flynn, Wake and Drake, hashtag Wake and Drake. I love that freaking game. Number 2, Uncharted 2 amongst these. Now, we're going to get to RPGs. Now, with RPGs, pick any Bethesda game. Preferably Skyrim and Fallout 4. But, I mean, they're World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy. I'm going to be a little risky with this one, okay? Now, this game got a lot of flack when it came out, and it just freaking came out. Like, in regards to games, when we're talking going as far back as games like Bioshock and Max Payne. Or Doom, you know what I mean? I'm talking about Starfield. Now, I like Starfield. It got old pretty fast. I'll give you that. Whereas in like something like a Skyrim, there's always something that will keep you intrigued. You know, what's that cave? Why is there a vampire hiding behind a boat? And who, you know, what's this letter that'll bring me to this shopkeeper who needs to find the golden cock? Starfield is a good storyline, okay? Yes, it's a universe, but it's not as vast as that word would make you seem. Like, when you go to a planet, there's like 6 places to go on that planet, and that's about it. If there are places to go at all. Okay, if you want to go to like a barren planet, yeah, there are caves and hidden posts with like Crimson Fleet pirates and stuff like that. But the main quest line, okay, and the side quests, I feel are super on the ball, okay, super interesting, okay, talking about, say, like, when you join the army, or their version of the army, like the UC. You had the decision whether you could be a mole for the military or join the freaking Crimson Fleet pirates, which, who doesn't join the freaking pirates? If you have ever double-crossed the pirates, you're a loser in my mind. Delgado was the man in that. The Rangers, you have an option to be a quasi like Wild West type of gunslinger in this particular planet. So like the side quests are fantastic. The ability that you can change your character and get so immersed in the world is not overwhelming, but it's just enough to make you just hooked. Okay, but I will warn you, it's a good starter game, which is why it's on this list. But it does have its flaws. I do see where people go, well, I don't like it because it's not like a Fallout where, you know, once I leave a location, I could find another location with something special in like 2 minutes. Dude, it's very stretched out, okay? And I can see where you could lose interest very quickly. But I still think that it'll be a perfect game. A lot of people bring up, and I'm playing it right now, No Man's Sky. I mean, No Man's Sky is freaking dope. But again, complex. Like, dude, I have to learn fucking chemistry for this shit. Like, it was like, oh, you need carbon and some metallic elements in order to fix your engine. It's like, dude, just fucking fix my engine. Alright, like in Skyrim, there would be just like a guy just like, oh, you need your engine fixed? Here you go. And I'm like, oh, fucking great, man. Here's your coins. Thank you for this. My shit's fixed. And that's the kind of stuff that I like. Starfield. Go for it. Right, now, we're going to get to stealth. So many games to talk to about stealth, although it's very niche genre. The Metal Gear Solid series, you have the Hitman series, you have the Assassin's Creed series, which was definitely going to be on this list if it wasn't for my number one. It stuck to its roots as being a true stealth game, and that is Thief. It is awesome, dude. I mean, the graphics are a little outdated for the time. I mean, it was a PS4 game in like the early stages of the development, but I mean, like, there's nothing that you need to know about this game other than hide in the shadows, steal some shit, don't get caught. That's what I want in my stealth game. There are literally controls for looking over a corner. Oh shit. Yeah, someone's there. You know, you have things like grapple hooks and weapons that will stun people but not kill them because you don't want to be a murderer. It's real cool. It takes place in like this old Victorian city called the City. Real inventive, guys. Your main character's name is Garrett, and it has like a real Robin Hood type of vibe. You know, steal from the rich to give to the poor kind of stuff. And like the whole city is being ravaged by something called the plague. So it's a real dark type of atmosphere. It's like if you played The Witcher 3, it's like everything is like Velen at night. You know, everyone is just like in squalor. It's really cool. The atmosphere, I'm telling you right now, once you play the game, it has its Assassin's Creed type of vibes as far as like your parkourness.
You what?
You know, you need to like throw a hook over there, climb on top of this thing, jump from building to building, pick a lock to get into a window, go in there, make sure you don't make a lot of noise. In the intro of the game, I just started playing it over again. It's like you can't make too much noise because you're in like this room with a bunch of birds, and the birds will set shit off and people will come upstairs and be like, fucking got you, motherfucker. I would go with that. Ghost of Tsushima is another game that, again, it could fit a number of genres. It could fill RPG, it could fill open world, it could fill fighting, but it's also stealth based, very much so. So that was gonna make the list also, but I left that off because I don't want to be too much of a fanboy. Survivor/survival horror. I'm not the biggest fan of this genre because I'm a bitch and I hate when things pop up on me. I mean, the other day, there's just like the cat just jumped off from like the couch and made a noise on the floor, and it jumped out of my fucking skin like a freaking bitch. Yeah, when I'm talking about games like Alien Isolation and Dead Space and Resident Evil and The Evil Within and The Evil Outside and The Evil Under Your Asshole, like stuff like that is like, brr. But I mean, they're really good. And a game that I think wins this, it wins the survivor aspect of it and the survivor horror aspect of it, is a game called The Forest. It's definitely grown an audience in the past, I'd say around year and a half, okay, since it came out with its sequel, Sons of the Forest, which is a little bit more fine-tuned graphically and from an inventory standpoint. But the original The Forest, okay, is very similar to like, anybody see a show called Yellow Jackets on on Showtime? So your plane goes down, only instead of like the wilderness in Ontario, you're on this island, okay, and you're the only survivor of the plane crash. You and your son. However, when you're like knocked out unconscious, you see like this shadowy figure take away your son, and you have to find out where your son is. Now, you're like, oh shit, you need to build a fortress, make weapons, kill animals for food, and get clean drinking water. You need to, at some point, you need to create armor, and I'll tell you why in a second. There's freaks around. It's super, like, you're immersed. You feel like you just freaking landed on a stranded island in this game. It's freaking cool. But what's not cool is that they like a bunch of these freaking pygmy people. They're not pygmies, Alex. There's a bunch of these natives. That's not offensive, right? They're super tribalistic and barbaric. Like they wear like necklaces filled with like skulls, and they have like heads mounted on pikes to warn people not to come. So once you discover like, oh shit, I'm not I'm not on St. George, okay? I'm on St. Get the fuck out of here. It's a little fucking scary once you find out what's really going on that island. It's not just there are some people here. There's like some fucking mutants and shit. Like one of these mutants just looks like a fucking, like a hand like that. I can't explain it. I literally can't explain it. You need to play the game to understand. It is freaky, but also super freaking cool. Okay, and by the way, when you die, you're dead. That's the end of your gameplay. Start over. So it is literally survive. 100% giving that number one on this list. And I'll throw a bonus in here because I wanted to talk about the linear-based story games. But I'm going to say The Last of Us because I'm too much of a fanboy. Yeah, there you go. I could get into more. I was thinking about like what would be the best game to get you into fighting. Like you have Tekken, you have Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat 1, you know, racing games, you have Gran Turismo, Need for Speed, games like that. But I feel like these are the games that are like at the top of people's lists. Like I'm not gonna give you what's the best sports game if I'm a football fan. It's fucking Madden, alright? Just buy Madden and shut the hell up. But yeah, there we go. There's another video. Look, I did it! That's 2! Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me on another video, guys. It's Muddy88, aka AJ from Queens, signing off again. Please, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Since my last video, I gained like 170 subscribers, and to me, that's a lot. You know, I want to get to 200, then 500, and then 1,000, and maybe I can make this a quasi-career, you know, and that would be great for me, because I hate my job. I really hate my job. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you next time. You, right there. I'll see you. Peace out.